Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So it's the second of the year-end videos, this time around my favorite pickups of 2022. So I decided to put this year hard cutoff here, right around the midpoint of December. Even though there's a couple of cards that may still be able to come in just under the cutoff time for the end of the year, I decided not to worry about it too much. I may roll it over into next year, but we'll see if anything comes of that. If there's another pickup video or two for the year end, then maybe those will be included and I'll mention them at that time. Now, just a refresher for those of you who don't remember or newer to my channel, when I do these, I never do it based on the rarest cards, and I certainly don't do it based on the most expensive. They're my favorites based on my own personal criteria. Maybe I was chasing after the card a long time and it meant a lot to me from that perspective. Or maybe I just think the card's really cool. It could be whatever criteria I choose based on that. So it wouldn't be necessarily, given the same list of cards that I picked up during the year, somebody else would choose a totally completely different set, and that'd be perfectly fine. But these are the ones that I chose. I broke them up into the stuff for the Modano PC, since that's the biggest single PC that I work on, and then everything else. So again, it's going to be not necessarily in any particular order. The Modanos will be based on my favorites, but the other ones will be based on no particular order. Now, there'll be some stuff like this Macho Man Elizabeth Stewart card. This is something that would certainly qualify under a lot of circumstances, but there were a lot of really cool cards. Now, this one I actually picked up at the Fall Expo, and I think it's just a really cool card. But I got to do a little bit more research on this one, but this would be like an honorable mention, something along those lines. Now, with that covered, let's get into the non-Modano PC pickups, the favorites of the year. I'll try to say a little bit something on the different ones as I go through them, but I may not always have a big elaborate story on them, but we'll do it anyway. So first one is 2018-2019 Ultimate Collection Hockey Ultimate Icons Brett Hull. Now, this one I selected because it was part of a thoughtful kind of a Christmas gift from Bradley Claus, so I appreciate it. I did include a video in the channel talking about this and also thanking him directly for it. But I just think it's a really cool card. Brett Hull, Hall of Famer. In addition to the fact that obviously Brett Hull was part of the one of the critical moments in Dallas Star history when I got a chance to watch that triple overtime game that almost never ended. And again, it's the thought that counts on this one. And this certainly is one of my favorite pickups simply for that purpose alone. So thank you again to Brad. And that is certainly one of my favorite pickups, even though that was not necessarily one that I expected. Next up, we can't go with a year without at least including one Juan Soto. Now, over the course of the year, I actually picked up two of these, so I'm going to have this one as the representative of it. So it's a 2018 Panini Chronicles Prism Green Juan Soto. So I actually ended up picking two of these up in the year because the pricing was right on them. So this one I actually did send into PSA to have graded. These are numbered to 50. Just a fun addition to the Juan Soto collection. Now I've got two of them, so the other one's off at PSA as well, and we'll see what happens with that one. And then I'll make up my mind in terms of if I want to keep one or both, but at least I'll have some options at that point. Now moving on next here is my first Favre for the year, and this one was the 2018 Panini Flawless Distinguished Patch Autograph, numbered to 10. So a nice jersey swatch, on-card autograph, numbered to 10. Nice clean design. I do appreciate the Flawless cards for that. Very nice. I did want to make sure I included some Favres, since that's certainly a theme of the year when I do my pickups. Next up, first vintage card here I'll include. So from the 53 Bowman color set, one that I'm working on, I've got the PSA 2.5, Stan the Man Musial. Nice image. Nice looking card. So actually I picked up two of these during the year, but the other one had all the corners clipped off on it, and I was able to get this one as kind of an upgrade in one of the PWCC auctions, so I took advantage of it. Really like the image on that card. So I do have a couple of 53 Bowman colors, a little spoiler here with the next couple coming up. And let's do another 53 Bowman color card. Now this next one would probably be the top one for a lot of folks, but I've got my reasons for why I would have it a little bit lower on the list. But again, this is my list and not anybody else's, but you can see it anyway. So 53 Bowman color Pee Wee Reese. Obviously an iconic image. Very nice card. So that's in an SGC 1.5. And as I said, it is an iconic card and a great addition to the collection. For me, it's still not my favorite, despite the image and everything. And obviously it is an iconic card, but there's another one that I'll be including here that is my personal favorite from the set, just because of where it stood in the 50s baseball. So you can kind of figure it out from there. Next up, I think this is the, I think there's one more Havre after this one, but I wanted to include this one. From 2004, Topps Pristine, the Gold Refractor. So this one's nice because it is a refractor shine, the Gold Refractor. You do have the etching, yes. And then it is a nice die cut over the edges, and that is numbered to 99. So nice clean card. I did pick up a number of shiny Havres throughout the course of the year, so that was a nice one to add. Next up here, we got our first wrestling card, and I think are back-to-back wrestling cards here in this next section. This one is from 2021 Topps Finest WWE Uncrowned Greatness Red Refractor $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. One of my favorite characters from the era, and really nice in the red refractor. It's a very cool looking card. Okay, I'm gonna move on here. Next up, one of the other PCs that I have for the wrestling side of things. So we got the Dr. Britt Baker DMD. So this is the Pyro autograph from the first year of AEW. And this is number 25. So you can see there the Pyro. Very nice looking card. And that is from the magazine, because there is another version of the Pyro that I haven't been able to get my hands on, but that one I was able to grab. The next one here on the list, just to keep up with the wrestling theme, I did also get from the 2021 AEW product, I was able to get the High Gloss Britt Baker. Now, that one is actually off to PSA. So what I'm going to do in place of it, where the $1 Million Man is right now, I'm going to put an image of it so that I include it, and that'll be part of the pickups for the year, and another one that was one of my favorites for the year. All right, the next one here, this is the last of the Fabres included in the side of the pickups. 2005 Ultimate Collection, Game Patch Autograph, PSA 6. So with the patch cards, usually do get hit on the grading side of things, but it is a nice clean one. You've got the nice little patch piece there. You've got the on-card autograph. I think it's a nice looking card. It's numbered to 15. So very cool. So this was another PWCC pickup. I was able to find a number of different Brett cards throughout the course of it. You don't want to wear it into the ground too much in one video, so I spared you on that one. But nonetheless, another nice card to add to that section of the PC. So I was definitely able to make some good ground on that section. Okay, down the last two here for the non-Modano pickups. This one is from the 2000, I think of the year 2000, SP Game Bat Edition, Pieces of the Game, or Piece of the Game, Game Used Bat Autograph for Ken Griffey Jr. So if you think 90s baseball, Ken Griffey is certainly part of it. Obviously, you'd prefer to have him in the Seattle Mariners jersey, but having the game used bat as well as the on-card autograph, I just wanted to have one of these Griffies with the on-card autograph in the collection. Something that had been missing for a long time, so I was happy to add that to the collection this year. Nice looking card. I'm a big fan of that, so I think it's pretty cool. And last one here we'll include was the 53 Bowman that it made the most sense to me to feature as the top pickup for me, especially since I needed to replace the other one that I had previously. 53 Bowman Color. PSA 1.5, so the Mickey Mantle. Iconic card and iconic pose. So this is early 50s Mickey Mantle, so he's still early on in his playing career. Still a lot of World Series and a lot of things to come, but a great image. And my favorite pickup for the non-Modano side of things for 2022. A lot of different cards that I wanted to cover. I wanted to make sure at least had some wrestling representation, and I did. I wanted to make sure I included some of the football cards of individual included, so that was part of it as well. And then we also included some baseball to cover the vintage side of things to go along with at least a modern representation as well. And obviously the on-card autographs and everything were a good theme of it for the most part, although there were some sticker autos included in there. So a variety of different things hopefully that I was able to cover there. Those are my favorite non-Modano pickups for 2022. Okay, now for the first list, like I said, it wasn't necessarily in any particular order, although I did try to put a little bit of a theme as I went through that list. The Modano ones are a little bit more in order, but again, it's my favorites based on my own criteria. So it's going to be a mix of old and new. It's going to be a mix of more recently picked up and stuff that I picked up earlier in the year. So first one is one and bonus train that I picked up at the Fall Expo, and that's 2019-2020 Stature Hockey, although I think it was actually the year after they did this kind of a retro and brought it back. So the patch autograph. Probably need to put in a new one touch, but these get scuffed up pretty bad. But nonetheless, the card itself looks nice. So number 9, patch autograph. On-card auto as well. It's from Modano, so picked up that one. That's a great one. So I wanted to make sure I included that one in this checklist. This one is also from the Fall Expo as well, as is the next one. So we've got a little mini theme going on here. This one is from 2013-14, the Cup. And this is the Cup Foundation's triple patch. So that's triple patch, number 10. You can see the top patch at CCM. We've got the star. So 3 nice patch pieces to go along with it. Anytime we can add stuff from the cup like that, always a big fan of that. So that's another great addition there for that section of the collection. Next up here was another pickup that I picked up at the Expo, even though the negotiation happened sooner. This one was mostly just because of how tricky it was tracking one down for whatever reason. 96-97, Fire and Ice. I kind of gave a little background on it when I was talking about it from the Expo video. But this certainly qualified. This is one of those ones that qualifies under the category of I've been chasing after these a long time. So I was just happy to have it on the checklist and add it on the collection. Knock it off and scratch it off the checklist. Next up was actually a ComC pickup. This is from, I want to say 03, 04, maybe 04, 05. I have to remember. But this is from the UD Premier. And this was the double patch. So Premier Teammates with Bill Guerin, number 25. This one I like just because of the nice combination of patches. So a great card. That was a premium brand at that time especially. Number 25. Beautiful card. So that's a nice add. Next up was also a more recent pickup. This is from 0708 In the Game Ultimate Memorabilia Triple Logo Silver, number 4. And specifically this one, particularly because of the nice little NHL logo patch there at the bottom. I thought that was great. So there it is, number 4. Some of these you would have seen in the last couple of mail days, the last couple of months here leading into towards the end of the year. But definitely when I can add a nice patch piece like that, I definitely want to include that as well. This next one is also a nice patch piece. I actually had 2 cards of these, 2 copies of this over the course of the year, but this was the nicer version, so this is the one I hung on to. 2015-16 SP Authentic Legends Limited Auto Patches. Quite a mouthful. This is a CSG 8.5, as they did have it graded. Numbered to 25. So beautiful looking card. Nice patch. That is numbered to 25. On-card autograph. You can see how silly. This literally looked like a cell phone. I was talked about that a little bit when I got the card originally. And it does have a 10 autograph on the back, so there you go. That is a very nice card. And this is a little particle that's been floating around the holder the whole time. It originally was here, and now it's moved around a little bit. So that's something that maybe at some point I get it swapped out and cleaned up. But for now, I'll just leave it since I know it's a particle that's been floating around. I think it's actually a piece of the jersey that kind of came off. Anyway, I'll leave it for now. Next up here is from one of my favorite sub-brands that unfortunately doesn't get as much love as it probably should, UD Black. This is actually 2008, 2009. This is the Dual Game Night autographs. So it's Modano and Joe Thornton here. Number 10. Really nice with the paint pen. That's one of the hallmarks of a lot of the classic UD Black. Very nice, I like those. I did have one of these for Modano and Martin Brodeur as well. So I'm just a big fan of this insert set. Also a big fan of the on-card autographs. Next up here, a nice patch piece. So this is from 0708 Ultimate Collection Hockey, and this is the Ultimate Trios. So it's Modano, Chris Drury, and Zach Parise. Number 10. So check out the patch piece there at the top, and the Chris Drury as well. Zach Parise, by comparison, is a little disappointing, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Number 10. It's a nice one from Ultimate. This next one here is actually one that I've been looking out for quite a long time, and it actually ended up materializing at the Edmonton Expo. And for those of you guys who are in the live stream chat, you know Paul on there, who regularly joins in, he actually came across it and reached out to me, and I gave a little bit of the story at the time, but basically we were able to talk through it, come up with a price that made sense. He was able to offer it, and we were able to do the transaction, and I was able to get my hands on this one. So this is from 2000-2001 Pacific. So it's the game-worn patch. Nice patch piece. These are numbered to 10, and you even got the jersey number to boot as a nice little bonus. But just overall, having the patch was the important piece for me. So thank you again, Paul. Appreciate you, bro. All right, next one here. We got 99-2000 Crown Royale. This is one that, these things don't crop up all the time. So it's one of those things, if you have a player from this time period, I would look out for these because they've kind of dried up over the years, especially the numbered ones. So they did the Kramer's Choice Award, the Jumbo Kramer's Choices, and they do have a couple of different numbered variants. So in last year's one, I added the gold, which was out of 10. But this one, I added the green. So I guess emerald green, numbered to 30. And if you like your little color matches, that's a pretty great one. So you got a nice matrix background with the foil going on. It's an oversized card, so not for everybody. It's kind of annoying for some. But it does look really good. And it is numbered to 30, as it says. Just a neat looking card. So I do have a couple more of these colors that I'm missing, but it's one of those things where they don't crop up much. But I'll keep my eyes open. I'd love to add a couple more of these and finish that rainbow. That'd be kind of a cool rainbow to show off at some point. There's the emerald green version. So I can keep that on there without it falling over. All right, we're down to the very last ones here. So this is another card from the Cup that certainly warrants it. I do love the nice patch cards from the Cup, variety of them that there are. This is from 0708, the Cup, And this is the Emblems of Endorsements. So I also really love this subset. Emblems of Endorsement, on-card autograph, 2 nice patch pieces there, numbered to 15 here. Last year's included one of these from one of the other years, but it had a slightly bigger patch piece. Well, bigger patch pieces, I would say. But this design is actually pretty clean. I do like it. The cup definitely has some really nice cards like that all the time. So they're kind of a fun thing to kind of focus on if you're able to get your hands on those and your player does have stuff from that time period. It is really nice to have. And the newer cup stuff is actually still pretty nice, but obviously I don't have to worry about it quite as much with my player being retired so long. All right, so that brings us to the last 2 here. And the last 2 here that I'm going to include are 2 more recent pickups, but they're both recent pickups with a story that I got a chance to chat about on the videos when I picked them up. So the first one is actually probably the most recent one of these, and that is the 99-2000 Pacific Center Ice Proof. And if you remember from that one, it is basically the ghost card. I kind of had a little fun with that because it is virtually see-through. You can see that it is numbered to 10, so I put the little card back on there to make it a little bit more legible. But this one was kind of a surprise. Under normal circumstances, I would have put it as number 1, but this one is one that I didn't exactly expect. And Brad Hartland from PSA Canada AMG Collectibles, they bought a collection. They actually came across this, so we were able to work something out for that, which is amazing. So thank you, Brad. So 2 different Brads I thanked in this video. But thank you, Brad, for making this available because this one was one that I had no expectation of ever getting my hands on, given that so few that I had seen of them for any of the players. More on that video. I put the word ghost in the title if you ever want to check it out. But I do talk about this in the set a little bit more. But that is certainly one of the favorite pickups of the year. And I did spoil that a little bit in the first video for the year end, so you shouldn't be surprised it was there. And the last card here also shouldn't be a surprise that it's right here at the end because it does have a story, a little different. Like I said, under normal circumstances, this would have been the number 1. But this one's the number 1 just because of the amount of additional work that I had to do. I knew this card existed, so I didn't have quite the same problem as the first one. And also at the same time, I did have to work quite a bit to get it. I had multiple opportunities, was the underbidder. I'm not going to go into the whole story again. I did it when I picked up the video. But it is the 2001-2002 Be a Player Memorabilia Series Country of Origins patch. There you got the nice Team USA patch. The print run on these was limited to 12. And it is a flag emblem used in the All-Star Game. So this is from the 2000 All-Star Game. Beautiful card. And certainly one that I had quite a tough time picking up. And one of the ones that I was quite happy to scratch off. So a lot of the progress that I was able to make on that late 90s and early 2000s was because of cards like these. These are the ones that I pursue the most right now because it's right in the teeth of the era when I was really starting to collect a lot of these things a lot more heavily and trying to really track some of this stuff down and came up short quite a number of times back then. And then more recently, you know, if stuff like that comes up like this one, I had multiple attempts at this card, not this specific one, but different versions of this card, and they got progressively more expensive as they went along. And this one, I just had no idea whether for sure it existed or not. So in both cases, it presented its own unique set of challenges for both. But those are my favorite Modano pickups of the year. There were plenty of honorable mentions that I certainly could have included without any question. Lots of amazing cards. I consider it a very successful year overall, and I had a lot of fun picking up a lot of these ones. I don't know what next year will look like, but I do anticipate there will be some opportunities because every year you never really know what's going to happen. You never know what people are going to find somewhere and then decide to put out there into the world. Because, you know, case in point, towards the end of the year, this one is not one that I would have put in my predictions for the beginning of the year if you had asked me what I would come across. And I certainly would have necessarily predicted that I would have been able to pick this up as well as that in the same calendar year, in addition to all those other nice cards that I was able to add. So thanks very much for checking it out. Hopefully you enjoyed me going through some of my favorite pickups of the year. Hopefully you yourself have been able to enjoy, if you've been collecting the whole year and actively, hopefully you found your own different items that you've been able to enjoy throughout the year. I do enjoy the opportunity at the end of the year to look back. And it does give me a little bit of perspective to know that, hey, there was a lot of good progress made during the year on a lot of these things. So it's kind of fun. So between that and the goals video, it's kind of interesting to see how far I've come as far as a lot of these collections are concerned. So that's it for me for now. More videos coming up on the channel and live streams on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the most part. I think there will be a little bit of a glitch. This one's going to be done. This one's going to go up on the weekend after one of the live streams. So we'll see what the timing ends up being on that one. But otherwise, it is going to be generally on the Fridays at 8 p.m. with the exception of possibly some of the holidays. So we'll see how some of that turns out as far as scheduling wise. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, you'll get a better sense of when those videos and live streams are going to go up, as well as liking the video if you like. Thanks very much. We'll catch you in the next one.